You know how we do it right here? We bring you all of the hottest entertainment stories. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo, and I'm here with the thorough and outspoken Ife Oshinkeye. Morning, Ife.
What's up, Tokes? How you doing?
What's new this morning? Anything exciting?
Apart from the fact that I saw a news yesterday about Omokri, the author.
Reno Omokri. All right, before you tell us a little bit about that, let me just quickly use this as a stepping ground for all of the Muslim viewers that we've got out there.
Yeah.
Special shout out for Eid al-Kabir celebrations. All righty, do you want to do your own shout out? Or is that on behalf of both of us?
Man, I'm just saying, on behalf of both of us, man, I'm just saying, man, please invite us, man. I need to eat salami.
All right, so you were going to tell us very briefly.
It's about Reno Omokri that he said maintaining your woman doesn't make you responsible or generous. It only makes you a very stupid man, because God says the only women you should maintain are your mother, your sister, and your wife.
That's in the Bible?
According to me, I don't know if that's in the Bible. It said according to God.
Okay.
That God says. So I don't know if he's quoting from, maybe God spoke to him.
I think we should not start this conversation because we will not be able to end it.
So I'm just wondering, like, is it wrong for you to maintain your woman? Why would you say I'm stupid to be maintaining my woman?
So he's not maintaining his woman. Is that what he's saying?
Well, I think Reno is married, so he's maintaining his wife. He said God says you should maintain your wife, your mother.
Oh, I see. So any other woman?
No, not your sister, your daughter.
Okay,
your
so
daughter,
any other woman.
Any girl. And he says any girlfriend that requires you maintaining her is no different from a prostitute.
Ooh. Shaking the tables, what can I say?
Shaking the table.
All right, so that was just a tip of the iceberg. We're starting really with this first story and what looks like the biggest entertainment story this morning. And it's on Nigerian singer Duncan Mighty, who allegedly beat his wife. Because this picture and these images has been going around, making the circle, you know, on the social media scene, and various blogs have carried it as well. And when I went online to have a look, I just saw her face all over as well, battered, bruised, completely. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I really don't understand. Could Duncan really have done this? I was like, okay, let me be fair. Let's just say, for example, he could have done this. And then let's say, for example, he could not have done it. Because like you were saying, I think you were saying earlier that he always comes out on social media to show affection for his wife and everything, you know, so this is really coming as a complete surprise. But then again, I was thinking, okay, let's say, for example, he didn't actually do this. I was like, how was that possibly possible anyway? Because they're the ones that live at home. Could she have had, sorry?
Yeah,
could she have
did it to her? That's like your question.
Sorry, say
like
that.
if he's not the one, then
exactly, who exactly?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, so those are my sorry.
And then a song came to my mind. Only fake men be beating up their wives.
Oh my goodness, that is so apt. That is so appropriate, right?
Because I'm like, bro, this is still allegedly, so we can't say for a fact that Duncan Mighty, and like you rightly said, he's always showing our affection, always posting our pictures online, showing off his kids and all of that. But man, look, there's always sometimes it's not always a smooth sail. Sometimes it gets rocky. Yeah,
but even so, what some of the people have been saying is like, because I've been gauging people's reaction, and some of the women are really upset that, you know, he should never touch a woman regardless of the kind of arguments that they go through.
I've always said this. If it is proven that Duncan Mighty, I'm officially not a fan. I'm not listening to Fake Love. I'm not listening to any song done by Duncan Mighty again, because I think only weak men beat up women. So if he actually did this, Duncan, you're not mighty. You're Duncan Little.
Ooh. Ife's on a roll this morning, and he's like just bringing the wit.
So if he actually did that, it's really disappointing. But let's see how this develops, and let's see what pans out.
And this incident, do you like have any idea when it like took place? Was this over the weekend?
Over the weekend.
Because like Monday has gone by and he hasn't released the statement, and all of the reports that I saw online were saying he hasn't.
He denies things. That he addresses issues. Even when people were saying Wizkid helped his career, he addressed that.
Addressed
so if you can address stuff as little as that, so an accusation
But I
of
have
you
a
beating
feeling
your
that
wife
he
and you
would,
haven't-
he would say something. It's just
Well,
that maybe it's the length of
been
time.
over the weekend. This is
Exactly.
Tuesday. Sir, what are you waiting for?
I think we should give him until the end of today. If by tomorrow he hasn't said anything, then
I think he should be arrested. Trust me. End of story.
But if it is Duncan Mighty, it does speak not very well of him because her eyes were, her face was really battered.
Yeah, really, really
And
battered.
that was just way.
And no, she didn't look good. And she's a very beautiful woman.
Exactly.
So for her to look that way, it must have been something really severe.
Yeah.
And then no matter what she did, there is no justification for beating up a woman. So.
And then to make matters interesting, like some of the pictures that you were saying, regarding him coming out to show his family and affections, we saw a lot of pictures of that, his family with the children and her as well, all lovey-dovey. And then just next to the side, the battered face, I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, it's really deep. It's really deep. And this is a call to all men. Learn to walk away.
Oh, if he's going to do his advocacy thing now.
How much a woman provokes you, learn to walk away. We all know women, I'm not generalizing this, but we know that women are the weaker vessels. I know the feminist women out there now would not agree with me.
But you see what these feminist women say in terms of this statement you've just said. They've said men are the weaker, women are the, what did you just say? Weaker vessels. Yeah, so what feminists are saying is that men are weak and then women are...
Well, I'm just saying it according to the Bible. I'm a Christian, and the Bible refers to women as the weaker vessels, and we're supposed to protect them and look after them. So if you're beating up a woman, please stop it. Desist from it. And if you have plans of beating up a woman, please have a rethink. And it doesn't make you a bigger person beating up a woman because we all know you're stronger. So there's no point. Love your woman, show them affection. When they start their drama and all of that, please kindly walk away or stay away from it, but never touch a woman. In
fact, you've talked about your personal relationships in the past, and you've also talked about, like when you were physically abused as well during the relationship. So at the time, what did you do? Did you
at the time, the reason why I have bite marks to show for that is because I always walk away. And when I'm walking away, she gets offended the more, and then she bites me from behind and all of that. So yeah, it's been crazy. I never hit her, and if she has anything contrary to say, you can come out and say it. All
right, just back to the story before we round up. How do you think people are reacting to this news? Let's say, for example, it is true. How do you think Nigerians will be reacting? And if it's a lie, how do you think they will react to the news?
Nigerians are not really, except women. A lot of women are reacted towards this. Of course, they're against it. Yeah. But a lot of people have not come out to really backlash Duncan Mighty because it hasn't been confirmed. So some people are still saying it hasn't been confirmed, it is still alleged, so it is still innocent until proven guilty. So let's just wait and
watch this space.
Watch the space,
All right, on that note, we're going to give it a break because we're going for a quick break right now, but when we come back, we'll be dishing out more fresh entertainment stories. We'll be right back.
I actually moved back to Nigeria to open a bakery. This was my goal, and everything I did up till this point was in preparation for this. First of all, life was great because I moved in 2015 right before the recession, right? It was awesome. I was like, wow, there's so much money out here, man. The cost of overheads, power generation, water, you have to be your own local government. And there are no tax breaks. Many places where, where they realize the small business environment is difficult would offer some kind of tax breaks and incentives. We don't do that out here. We want you to come back. We want you to, to start businesses here, but we're not going to do anything to help you. All my experiences in the past have led me ultimately to where I am now.
Welcome back. You're watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Up next is news on Asia Argento. And if you don't know who she is, she's the girlfriend of the late Anthony Bourdain and is also a leading figure of the Me Too movement, having accused Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault in the past. But it looks like the tables have turned as she has been accused of sexual assault by a 22-year-old Jimmy Bennett. So this is quite interesting. What she dished out to someone is, has been dished back to her as well. So if you let me ask you what your take is.
Well, I just think this is the height of hypocrisy.
That's what someone said, actually.
Yes, because according to the report, this happened way back in 2013. Jimmy was 17.
At the time.
Yes, at the time. It was just 2 weeks into his 17th year. So, and he was supposed to, she was trying to pay him $380,000.
Oh, she had not paid
for
it.
his silence.
Yes. Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Because I understand,
because
I
saw
understand, she had
attempted
paid.
to pay for his silence.
Oh, okay. Because I thought she had already paid the 380, but he didn't
Yeah, I think she was trying to pay that while she was speaking out against Harvey Weinstein. So she knew like this could resurface. So she was paying for his silence. Like, look, I'm doing this to Harvey Weinstein now. You can't come out and say nothing.
Exactly.
You get. So she was trying to pay him off, but an anonymous male came in now with selfies of the both of them in bed.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy now. Like, you were just talking about Harvey Weinstein doing this to you. You started the whole Me Too movement. At least you're like the major convener of the Me Too movement, and then you're being accused of the same thing.
Exactly.
It's just hypocrisy.
Yeah.
If you ask me.
So it's like people are going to, do you think, or should I say maybe, do you think people are going to disregard all her allegations against Harvey Weinstein?
Oh, yes, I believe so. And then I believe Harvey Weinstein has a better chance of getting out of all of this now, because a lot of all of this could be discredited.
No, but Harvey Weinstein has been accused by multiple women. This is just one. So her testimony is not even going to have any effect on his.
If we were supposed to go for 30 years for all of them, maybe at least 10 years will be taken out.
No, I think it's going to be regardless, because what the lawyers are going to do are just going to disregard this one witness. She's just going to be taken off the case, and that's it. Because if she's left on the case, the other lawyers are going to really attack her, and then her case in court is just going to be walked. One thing I wanted to bring out is the fact that this Bennett guy, the 17-year-old guy at the time, they're saying at the time, or even today in California, or according to California law, is that any person that sexual consent has to be by someone 18 years old.
Yes, and it was 17 at the time.
He was what?
17
at the time. So this is not just a case of sexual allegations. It's also a case of pedophilia, or what should we say? Because there's an age difference, and I think it's like 20 years, the difference. Because at the time she was 37 and he was 17. So there's a 30-year difference. So pedophilia, sexual allegations, someone that is not of age not giving sexual consent. And then this is really going to draw her down.
Yeah, it's really going to draw her down. It's going to be very messy for her. I believe she's also going to get into some legal drama.
Yeah.
And
it's messy.
This is America, man. America is a movie. We just keep watching movies.
I don't even know. Is this where I say it gets juicier? Or because this is not juicy. It's just like it's messy. Absolutely messy.
Yeah, this is messy.
And then let's bring into equation, or bring into the story, the impact of her being affiliated to Anthony Bourdain, who just recently deceased, or not too long ago deceased. How do you think people are going to react, knowing that this was the ex-girlfriend or the girlfriend?
I don't think we should even bother bringing Anthony Bourdain into this, because we need to let him rest in peace. And the fact that
the reason why I'm bringing this is because some people are still going to look at her as the girlfriend of Anthony Bourdain, so they're not going to let it rest. So we need to quickly talk about it in terms of what's the impact or the aftermath of this. People coming to light who thought, oh yes, because she was crying heavily during his suicide. So you can't, and for this to come to light now would definitely, I personally think, will have a backlash, or it will rub off against her negatively.
Well, I don't want to be
too negative
doing the conspiracy theory now. But all those things can even lead up to the reasons why Anthony Bourdain took his own life, because he didn't want to be involved in all of this shame. Maybe this drama has been building up.
And who knows, maybe they've been blackmailed from way back.
Do you understand? So because I don't know. I just don't want to bring Anthony Bourdain into all of this. I'd rather not speak on that and let it just be. And if Anthony Bourdain finally comes up and people bring him into this, then all well and good. But I think we should just let sleeping dogs lie.
I still can't let it lie, so I'm going to look at it from a different angle. So he performed suicide, and now with all of these allegations, do you think she might be suicidal at the moment? Because all her stuff is crumbling, her life is crumbling right in front of our very
I wouldn't
eyes.
want us to start giving her ideas. In case she's not suicidal, we shouldn't be the ones to start giving her ideas like, okay, I think the solution.
Do you not think that she may or may not? That's why I'm just asking your own opinion. Because her boyfriend, you know, did it. Do you think that now that everything is crumbling around her, she may?
Suicide is a very, very sensitive topic to deal with, and I hope she doesn't have that idea. But this is messy enough for anybody to have suicidal thoughts. That's all I'm going to say.
If you're very quiet this morning, I'm very, very concerned.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just don't want to be involved.
And normally you're very strongly outspoken. Now you're very reserved.
I'm reserved because, no, I'm really reserved about certain issues, especially suicide, especially when it is something that has been happening so much lately.
Yeah, but the truth is the truth.
Especially
as long
when
as
Anthony
far as we're
Bourdain,
sensitive, if we're sensitive, then I think we can.
Especially when Anthony Bourdain just took his own life. Now his girlfriend is also in a messy situation, and we're talking about her being suicidal. We don't know who is watching. We don't want to give out any ideas. And I just think she should be watched closely because like you rightly said, this could lead to suicidal thoughts. So she should be watched closely. At least she should be on suicide watch till this passes.
And
or
her family should
till
be doing
she
that.
goes to jail.
Till she, you have already concluded.
I said
so much
till
for
this
being,
passes
I don't
or
believe this.
till she goes to jail. I don't know.
Believe this. If you're already judging her before she...
No, because if that's the case, I think she deserves to go to jail because she's about to send the man to jail. She started the movement that sent him, even though he's guilty or... Can we say he's guilty? He hasn't been proven guilty.
Jimmy?
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, have you? He's not been proven guilty.
He hasn't been proven guilty, so we can't say he's guilty, even though he's been accused by multiple women, and what he did is actually wrong. So if he's going to jail, I think she deserves to go to jail too.
As well.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be bringing you scoop on Madonna and Jennifer Garner. Stay here.
Today's top stories are
and the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria.
I'm here at Eunice Bashorin Street where
the fire destroyed our transformer complete.
The lowest level you can.
I'm Lakme Banjo. This is Plus TV Africa. The big stories live here.
Big stories live here.
Big stories live here.
Welcome back. It's still tea time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're swiftly moving on to our next story. Madonna pays tribute to Aretha Franklin at MTV Video Music Awards. Yes, and she wasn't the only one. So many people paid tribute, and they made this award ceremony more like a tribute towards Aretha Franklin. But what's interesting is the fact that Madonna, I think, topped it all of all of the people that paid tribute.
Yeah, and then she told a very interesting story
as well. So let me let you tell the story
about Aretha changed her part. Yeah. So she said she was 18 years old at the time,
and in Detroit as well.
Yeah, and in Detroit, and she had only $35 in her pocket. Then she decided to move into stage performance, which the pay was better. Then she went for an audition to be a backup singer for a French rock star then. So when she went there, she was supposed to have prepared a song to sing. And then she was shocked because she didn't have any song. And then one of her favorite albums at the moment, what's the name of the album? Something Soul by Aretha Franklin album. One of her albums that has Natural Woman in it. She said that was her favorite album at the time. And then she sang like a natural woman. And the pianist, they looked at each other and they shook their head. And I think she didn't get that role. Okay. So they didn't approve of it. So she went, no, I think she got that role.
Okay.
And then she went on tour with a French guy. Then at some point in her life, she realized that she hasn't merited the luxury lifestyle she has been living because she was doing other people's songs, being a backup singer. She wanted to create her own music. She wanted to do stuff. And she moved back to America. She left Paris, moved back to America, started doing her own thing. So she's thanking Aretha Franklin because Aretha Franklin was the person who set her on that path because she sang Aretha Franklin's song that got her that role, and she was living a luxury lifestyle, which she felt she didn't merit because she did an Aretha song and she wanted to do her own thing. So, and she also commented that she knows that Aretha had impacted everybody in the
Music.
VMAs.
Okay.
VMAs, right?
Yeah.
In the VMAs, MTV, VMAs Awards arena yesterday, and that she thanked Aretha Franklin for all of that. And I just felt that was amazing, especially with the fact that she had the story to back a true life story to back it up.
But now that you say that, and you know, I was like you as well, like very impressed. And then all of a sudden, I hear there's a backlash because what they're saying, the backlash that I saw was that this should have been about Aretha. What they're saying is that Madonna then told her own story, which is, as far as they're concerned, is unrelated to Aretha. And then listen, what they're saying is that she made it the Madonna monologue. That's what they're calling it now. That she made it all about Madonna when she should have been making it about Aretha. What do you think?
Well, I agree to some extent because she spoke at length about her own coming up and all of that.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, what she was driving at was the fact that it was Aretha's song that she did in an audition.
And she was still paying tribute anyway.
And she was still paying tribute. And she was thanking Aretha because if it could have been any other person's song and she wouldn't have been able to deliver it the way she delivered
And then she was also saying R-E-S-P-C-T, in other words, paying respect to
and using Aretha's song.
Exactly.
So regardless of how you're trying to pay tribute, you can go round and round and speak about yourself. But the point you were driving at was that it was this woman's song that impacted your success.
So what I'm going to ask
audition.
you, how do you want to react to these negative reactions?
I just think people will talk. That is
regardless
just a fact. Regardless of what you do, you cannot satisfy everybody. As far as I'm concerned, I was touched she said that story because not a lot of people will share that type of story.
All right, we're moving on. Up next is news on Jennifer Garner, who has been honored with a Hollywood star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I think this is quite interesting because she's been in the industry for a long period of time and she's done a lot of films, even up to Wonderland, which is Wonder Park, which is coming out next year. So she's been busy all the way through since when she started. And I think she's known more for her role in Pearl Harbor and is it Daredevil, I think. She acted in a few films anyway that were notable anyway. And I think this has been a long time coming. I don't know why they took this long to...
she's acted in 35 classic movies.
Over 30 films, spanning across 2 decades,
spanning across 2 decades. And Peppermint, which is coming out later this year too in September. She also starred in that, so it's deserving.
Yeah, she was Carmen Electra as well.
And if you remember, she was Ben Affleck's wife. Up until
it's such a shame that the both of them, because I thought they were beautiful.
Do you
couple.
know that they broke up 2 days after their 10 years anniversary?
Oh, it's just so and one of the couple that I was saying, this couple, they're going to last, this couple, they're going to last. It's such a shame. And they have like two children.
Well, we thought the same thing about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. So
no, I didn't think that because everyone knows that Angelina Jolie is a bit, she's a bit extreme in some regard. Anyway, let's not talk about her right now. Let's talk about Jennifer Garner.
Okay, so I think this is well deserving, and I saw a picture where she sat close to the star, and that was so.
And then there were a lot of people rejoicing with her.
A lot of family, friends, even colleagues, even co-actors and actresses in some of my movies, and nobody had anything negative to say. I think she's actually it's well deserving. Come on, 35
and I think
movies,
from the pictures that I saw, she was well pleased. But if you ask me, I think what she wasn't saying, because sometimes you have to read into what people are not saying, all of the verbal signs or the non-verbal language.
Let me guess. Why did it take so long?
Yes. Yes, you know where I was going, so I'm going to say it anyway. But I was expecting you to like say, "Oh, Tokumbo, your usual."
No, that's why I said let me guess. I just figured that was you.
Yeah, but do you think I'm right, or do you think I'm being a conspiracy theorist?
I won't say you're right. I won't say you're wrong.
So you're going to sit on the fence.
I'm going to sit on the fence in the sense that we don't call the shots here. Exactly. The people who are put in the Walk of Fame, the Council of Hollywood. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
you get me. They are the ones who make the decisions, and they have their reasons why it took so long. And yeah, so at least at the end of the day, it's not like they did it after she died. She's still alive to see it.
Exactly, so, to celebrate it as well. But it reminds me of Kanye West, when Kanye West was saying that she should actually be put on the, Kim Kardashian should be also put on the Walk of Fame. And the council, they were not interested because as far as they were concerned.
Is Kanye West on the Walk of Fame? Kanye West himself?
I think he should be, but I'm not sure. But I think we're going to check and come back on this afternoon to clarify, because we're running out of time. So that brings us to the end of the program. Join us this afternoon for another episode, a fresh episode of Tea Time. But before we go, my thank yous as always go first and foremost to my co-anchor Ife Oshunkeye, the production team, as well as our stylist, courtesy of Kudi Empire. I'm Tekumbo Taiwo saying good morning.